Welcome to the You Name It podcast with Davin and Jerry.
Hold on, Jerry.
Hey, it's been a little while.
It's been
more than a little while.
Yeah, when was our last show?
I think it was November or something.
Or December, or wasn't it?
Maybe, I don't remember.
Janet Jackson something or other.
It was the Janet Jackson one.
Okay.
I think we had something about. Oh no, that's one of the ones that got a whole lot of listens because we had a whole giant boost in listens, and that one was the last one. I guess was more important than the rest of them.
Yeah. Huh.
Janet Jackson is lying to you. You know, 2 weeks before that, somebody else was lying to us in the title. I can't remember who it was.
Well, we can't.
But it was like, so-and-so is lying to you, and then Janet Jackson is lying to you.
Yeah, well, we have to not title this one with lying in it.
Davin is lying to you.
No. But I do.
Hey, guess what?
Go ahead.
I'll get it out of the way for everybody, just so they know, because in case they always stop listening after the first 3 minutes or something. Going back to Arizona. So there'll be another dead spot in the show thing for a few weeks. So everybody knows.
Yeah.
Now you've been informed. Sorry, but I just can't move this gear around on a plane. There's too much of it.
My portion of it I can, but
You
yours,
can, but I've got this whole thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it without a mixer because I can't. Well, I guess I could do it the old-fashioned way, but then remember those old shows where some of them sounded so shitty that we even put it in the title?
Oh, the quality, yeah.
Yeah. Like the shittiest shit show ever, whatever. You know? But I wanted to tell you, Davin, that in the last 12 months, within the last year, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
I've flown 4 times.
Okay.
To Arizona, back from Arizona, to Arizona again, back from Arizona. I think 3 of those 4 times I had empty middle seat.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that fantastic for everybody? 1 of those 4 times, it was a smaller person.
Okay.
It was a girl that was, you couldn't even tell she was sitting in the seat because she wasn't elbowing you in the sides like everybody seems to want to do.
Right.
Just put elbows right into your side. But going back on Thursday, and I have to pay for that because the only seat available was middle seat. So I have to be the middle seat guy.
Well,
the only thing I could hope for is going on the app every day and seeing if somebody moved their seat and I can get into something else, but that's unlikely.
I'm in the same boat or the same plane.
Yeah.
Same situation.
Are you? Why, for your flight to Texas?
My flight to Texas, yes. I'm on a center seat.
Ooh. And that's because, like my ticket, I booked it yesterday.
Yeah, well,
so
they booked
the
this
same
one
thing for you.
last minute too. So
yeah, because today it doesn't matter. People know that we don't do this live. Today is Tuesday, so I booked mine Monday for a Thursday. No aisle or window Thursday or Friday was left in any of the flights.
Yep.
So that sucks. But then I called out to the boss that I'm working for and said, when I was looking, I think I might have found an aisle seat the next day, and I was thinking, so I asked him, do you need me on Thursday, or is Friday work as well? And he goes, it would be way better if you got here Thursday.
Yeah, that's saying.
Went, okay, that means work.
Yep, you need to go.
It wasn't just a get you in town to start up the next week sort of thing. It was, no, we've got shit to do starting Thursday afternoon.
Right. Well, one of the weird ones I had was I've done, well, let's see, I did Cleveland and then I did Atlanta since we talked last on the podcast.
Yeah.
But my flight to Atlanta was on one of those giant jumbo ones with the 3 seats on both sides, and then the center section has 4 seats in it.
Yeah. Did you get an upgrade to first class where you get to lay down?
No.
Oh, too bad.
Too many, because it was going to Atlanta, and then I think it was continuing on to Taipei or something like that. So, anyway, they coming back on the same flight. They said, "Do you want a Delta Comfort row?"
Yeah.
But it's a center seat. And
I declined those.
I
I
de-
never, yeah.
yeah, I declined it. Then I went to my regular assigned seat, and it was Delta Comfort.
Your regular assigned seat happened to still be in those. They just like it wasn't showing on the app that it was a comfort row, but it actually was.
On the app, the row 25 was the end of Comfort, and I was in row 33, I think, or 30.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was still Delta Comfort. So why did they ask me up to the counter?
Because they don't know what's going on with that plane either.
That's true.
They're looking at the seat map that they thought they had right. It was probably version 3 of that type of plane, and they're looking at version 2, or they linked it with version 2.
Right.
You win. I had one of those once, and it was to Atlanta, because Atlanta's a big hub.
Correct.
Detroit's a big Delta hub, but Atlanta's a bigger airport hub in general. And I remember I got upgraded to first class, and I didn't understand what the seat map was about and had to look it up because the seat map looked weird. And so I looked it up, and it turned out I was in one of those pods, and it had a massaging chair, and it could lay down all the way, and little walls around it.
You're special.
Yeah, but the flight to Atlanta from Michigan is like an hour. Yeah,
it's
big deal.
It's pretty quick. You can get through.
Then I had
movie.
to, you couldn't really enjoy the whole thing. Then I had to get into a other plane in Atlanta to fly the rest of the 4 hours across the country in a shitty plane.
Yep.
With no upgrade, I don't think. I feel like I had an upgrade with. It was a different kind of seat than that. This was one of those weird ones where there's like one on the window, and then there's 2 or 3 next to each other in the aisle with spaces in between them, and they were longer. But I had another one that was sort of pod. Like it didn't completely surround you, but it laid down almost all the way. And I did get into one of those with a big TV screen and everything and fly to, I think it was Detroit to Seattle before I changed. So that was a really good one.
See, I would rather have them just do regular first class seating up front for flights like that and give everyone else more leg room.
Oh, you mean like in general, stop giving them the luxury and just spread everybody out?
The all-out bed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to be mad about leg room, but leg room to me isn't as important as width because I hate the elbows that people do.
So when you're in the middle, do you get both armrests?
I feel like that's the rule, but that never really works out that way. And because I don't feel like fighting with people, I just see what happens.
Yeah, because if I'm on the window seat, I'll lean over into the window and give them that armrest.
That's my preferred plan, too.
And if I'm on the aisle, I do the same thing, except it's when they wheel that freaking cart down and bang you. And I mean,
that's why I hate the aisle seats.
You know they see you. It's just like, that's their fun in their day. It's just banging the shit out of somebody.
Everybody that walks to the bathroom seems to like brush up against me every time, too.
Or the jackass who's wearing a big backpack and trying to load his luggage and the carry-on swings around and hits you with their backpack.
Yep. I'm all careful about all that stuff. I do it. Like, I have a whole system to avoid touching anybody with my backpack or anything.
Yep.
Or how about this guy, everybody out there? You guys all have been on planes, I'm sure. How about the dummy that wants to stretch during the flight and like leans on the back of your chair with his ass right in your face when you have an aisle seat?
Oh.
Have you had that before?
Oh, yeah.
You're thinking, move. What the fuck? Your dumb ass is right in my face.
Uh-huh.
How am I supposed to enjoy my flight? You don't have to stretch and talk to your buddy.
Well, there's been a lot of
I had to warn people it was podcast day because Lisa and Lindsay are upstairs with my sister-in-law is staying with us for a few days too. It's like, if you hear any loud noises, Lisa goes, "Yep, you'll hear it. He'll start screaming at some point."
Well, actually, in the past, I think it's like been the past week, there's been like 2 airlines jacking incidents on planes where the people
I read about one. Yeah.
Which one did you read about? The old guy?
ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure it's clear that they're not talking about rates, jacking up the rates. Davin's talking about,
rubbing one out.
jacking.
Rubbing one out on the plane.
Not rate hikes, not jacking up the price. He's talking about jacking. Yeah, no, this is a younger person with a woman next to him, and he asked her, "You mind if I do this?" And she goes, "Do I have a choice?"
Oh, yeah, I heard about that one, but then there was another one coming into, I think, Boston Logan Airport, possibly, where it was the guy it was an old guy in his 70s or 80, almost 80,
Yeah.
touched her leg and then proceeded to jack off next to her.
I feel like I got to touch your leg, and that excited me so much
Yep.
that I have to pleasure myself
But
here.
she didn't say anything. She videotaped part of it,
Yeah,
which probably encouraged him.
exactly.
And then she didn't say anything until they were deboarding the plane that the guy did something. It's like,
Yeah, because that other lady, she told the flight attendant, like, got up and went and told the flight, "Hey, there's a guy down there jacking off. Is there something we could do about that?" He got arrested too.
yeah, this
Old guy got arrested, did he?
Old guy did get arrested as well. So, you know what, they got
70. Nobody wants to see your 70-year-old Rod.
Yeah. I'm surprised, instead of boosting up the first class, they're going to eventually start putting cages in the back and just lock these people in a cage for the rest of the flight,
Yeah, you know what? They should, or the other thing, too, I was watching this YouTube video about a pilot was giving a tour of the underneath the plane, all the stuff that's down there.
Yeah.
You can put a cage down there.
Yeah, just
Make
drop the
people crawl
person
down
in the cage.
Yeah, like put the cage with just a flap in the door in the floor, so you can just shove them in there. You don't even have to have them climb down. You just drop them in like a medieval torture device.
Yep. All the people with cholera, you go down there.
All the cholera people, yeah, from your TV show.
Yep.
Everybody's sitting here listening. What is he talking about? Cholera. It's a TV show Davin will be telling us about shortly. But first, because airplanes, we're still on airplane stuff. So a new thing. This is probably not new to you, Davin Christensen, because you travel a lot more than I do at this point. But coming out of Phoenix Airport last time, they like in the little windy waiting line for security, they like cleared out this giant area in the middle that was like 2 or 3 of the rows wide. They just they rearranged those little stanchions. Mm-hmm. So it was a big wider area. And then they made you walk past the dog that was sniffing everybody.
Oh, okay.
The drug dog thing?
Yep.
Or bomb dog or whatever it is. And it was really weird, too, because they made you walk with somebody. So they'd call you up when you got up to the front of that part of the line. They go, "All right, you two, walk slowly together." And they're like all tough about it, too. Walk slowly together. No, go, together, go. That kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so, walk past the dog. The dog is like kind of weaving in and out of people and walking around us. And, I guess they're just looking to nab somebody for something. So that never happened to you then, huh?
I've seen it when I'm picking up my bags at the end, the luggage.
Well, I've seen them roaming around the luggage place, yeah.
Right.
Especially in Canada, they're always walking the dogs around where your luggage comes out. But this was like a whole, you're trapped and you have to walk past this dog.
Right. Give them a treat.
So you didn't get that yet.
No,
well,
but
here's
I was going to tell you, Atlanta's airport, they've got a new luggage when you're checking in or when you're carrying on and going through secure TSA. It's a conveyor system where the trays come up to you, you put your bag in, and then it automatically loads it on the little conveyor belt that goes through the 3D machine so they can spin the image however they want.
Yeah.
And then it comes off and it gets to the end and it stops until you unload your thing, and then it sees that the tray's empty and then it reloads it up.
So this is in security?
Yeah. So you don't have to touch the trays at all. But now...
so it's a little revolving tray thing?
Yeah, and everyone has to wait patiently for the thing to come. But it speeds things up so much. Because you get the one asshole who doesn't unload his tray, and the trays start backing up behind it. And until he pulls his stuff out, yours doesn't come forward.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when you're going generally on the other side, when you're through, and you're trying to get to your shit, and some guy's just got his sitting there, and he's putting his shoes on.
Yeah, you can't do that here. You have to grab your shit and move.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I always grab my shit and move, because how hard is it to walk another 10 steps to put your shoes on because there's always like benches and stuff all around. Mm-hmm. They're just not right there, but no, I got to stand here and I got to put my watch on really slowly and slip on my loafers.
Yep.
Asshole.
Put my belt back on.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot my belt too on one of those flights. I was setting off this was a little different because the line was huge. Mm-hmm. It was the last flight I took. Yeah, out there. Line was huge in Detroit. And then I got to the very front, and I'm deciding which way I want to go. You know how you can pick, like, I'll go in this line or that line? Well, then some guy opened up just the metal detector and went, "You, come here. You. And he started calling us. And we sort of skipped the whole security thing in a way. Uh-huh. So I walked through the metal detector, and of course it went off. And I'm like, God damn it, because this is a game to me, and I want a high score, you know? So I'm like, what did I screw up? And I'm feeling my pockets and everything. And he goes, "You got a belt on?" I'm like, damn it.
Well,
belt.
Yep, a little light goes off when you walk through that on where it's detecting the metal, so it knows it's at your waistline.
Oh, well, he said, he goes, "It's reversible, isn't it?" And I went, "Yeah, how'd you know?" He goes, "Those are the ones that set them off. Lots of belts don't even register, but every one that has the reversible buckle, you know, where you spin.
Yep.
You can spin it black side leather or brown side leather, but the little buckle spins."
Yeah.
He says every one of those sets off. You might have been able to walk through. I actually got stopped coming home from Phoenix at security to search my bag. Mm-hmm. And it's been a long time because I got rid of everything that I get stopped for. Because harmonicas I carry because I play one. Yeah, people, stop laughing. I hear you out there. But anyway, I used to carry them in my backpack, and they tell me that it looks like a gun clip. And I got pulled to the side like 3 times one season when I was traveling. So I stopped carrying that in the carry-on. This time it was an e-smoke that they thought was a multi-tool.
Yeah.
But I was wearing a Lions T-shirt, Detroit Lions T-shirt. "All right, people, stop laughing," I said.
So I'm wearing a Lions T-shirt.
And the security guy's going, "You feel good wearing that shirt?" Like that. And I go, "Really, it's just a shirt." And he's going, "Yeah, I don't know if I'd be wearing that shirt." And then it turns out that he lived in Dearborn, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
He was actually Dearborn Heights, which is even close. I go, "I'm right across the road from where you used to live." "Yeah, I know." He starts talking about it. So he doesn't care about. He's just looking through my bag, telling me about the Lions and living in Michigan.
Lovely.
So it wasn't one of those guys that, those guys that try and intimidate you.
Yeah. Yeah, he
"Sir,
was just doing his job.
We're going to have to swab this." This guy was more like, "Let me find out what this thing is, because I know it's not. It's going to be a multi-tool or something stupid."
See, you just got to turn it around on them when they say they got to swab it. You just cool. Just be so excited about it.
"Sir, I'm going to have to swab this. Could you stand back, please?" Because they'll ask you to do stupid things like you're in the way.
Yep.
You could just stand back a little bit. We have to swab. Why? Is it going to explode if you swab it? The fuck?
I had
go. "That's awesome, man. Can I swab it?"
Flying out of Miami, I had she's probably 25, 26-year-old TSA girl. She goes, "Excuse me, sir, I need to swab your bag." And I looked at her and I said, "It's gonna be the best offer I get all day long."
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what's called misogyny, what you heard just there.
Yep.
I think Davin knows it is.
I do.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
She blushed.
And maybe Davin thinks it's 1948. He can say things like that. That's terrible. I just watched a documentary about Uber. Well, I watched that whole Super Pumped thing on Showtime, which I recommend highly to all our listeners. Super Pumped on Showtime about Uber and Travis Kalanick and all this stuff. Great thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you knew what was going on there, Davin, but there's a whole bunch of misogyny, just like that. Just like what you did. You could work at Uber. So anyway, after they got rid of the guy, this is incredible. After they got rid of the guy, they had Ariana Huffington on the board of directors, and she was making a speech about being the only woman on the board and saying things will be changing, because they're trying to do that to make sure that all the female employees know they'll be represented, that it's not just a boys' club.
Right.
And she's talking about it and saying, I'm sure that this will open the future for more female board members. And then some guy, and they have it on tape, one of the other board members goes, I think what's going to happen is just a lot more talking. And it's like, damn, you just got out of trouble for Travis and all this sexism, and you as a board member just pipe right up with that bullshit.
Back into training.
Women talk too much.
Sensitivity
stupid.
training, go back.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, before we leave the airport, dog gauntlet. If you guys all remember what we just talked about with the dogs, I thought I saw something very strange that happened after I walked past the dog. There was people in front of me. They high-fived each other. Like after they did the walk.
Like they got away with something?
Two dudes. Yes, that's what exactly is what I looked at. Like, are you fucking serious? Do you think that you're going to high five after you walk past the bomb drug dog? Like you just got away with something? What the hell's wrong with you?
They're probably higher than a kite, too. They're stoned off their ass.
Probably, yeah. They probably did the pre-flight smoke out in the parking lot or something.
And that dog's
I couldn't
probably
believe they high-fived each other right in that tense situation.
Yeah. Oh, that dog probably wasn't a drug dog. It was probably looking for imported fruits and vegetables and shit, you know?
It's a dangerous foreign insect-smelling dog.
Yeah.
Boy, I have lots of topics. I don't know if we're going to get through them.
I know. I got
into the show.
I got a ton of them as well.
Let's see. Let's see what we can get. I'm going to drop the dentist visits.
Okay.
So we don't have to do that. Let's see. Because there's stuff I want you to know, too.
Well,
a couple things.
I've got a couple I can zip through real quick.
Yeah, do that.
So in Cleveland, I was at one of the bars, and you know the leg lamp from that Christmas movie?
I do know the leg lamp. Everybody should.
Well, that was filmed in Ohio, right outside of Cleveland, and there's a leg lamp.
Yeah, the house there.
I'm looking, and they got a leg lamp behind the bar that I was going to, and I look, and they put an ankle bracelet on it.
Oh, really? Sort of like a drunk driving thing?
Exactly. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a good way so it doesn't get stolen, too.
If it works.
Yeah.
Might not work. I don't know why anybody would pay for that to work. It's a major award, Davin.
It is. Fragile.
I went to that house.
Yeah. How was it?
Picture of myself. It was closed, so we just got to look through the window.
And they had the big leg lamp in the window, and
they did, yeah. It's pretty cool, though. It's really funny that it's just in a regular old residential neighborhood with regular neighbors.
Right.
And there's that house, and it still looks exactly the same as in the movie. So you should go see it, people, in Cleveland, the land of Cleve.
The Christmas Story House.
All right, what else you got besides a leg lamp with ankle bracelet on it?
I've been reviewing Zoopoo.
Zoopoo.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I got to pull this up, don't I?
Yeah, bring it up, and you got to read the reviews, and I'll tell you my experience with it, because I've got some
Zoo
details.
reviews. Let's see what we find. First, we'll have to tell everybody what that is.
Right.
You're talking about on Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So look down about 3 or 4 reviews, and there's some good ones.
I gotta pull it up here. Zoo Poo, 15-day supply. Relief from temporary bloating. Gentle laxative properties. Can flush toxins. I'm just telling what it does. People what it is.
Yeah. It's a colon
flush out your
cleanse.
body's waste buildup to improve your overall gut health while getting your digestive system into optimal shape. So it's capsules?
Yes, you take 2 at night before you go to bed with water.
Okay. It's got hot peppers in it?
It
looks like it.
It's got cayenne pepper in it, yes.
There's cayenne pepper. There's aloe ferox and milk thistle.
Yes.
There's bentonite clay.
Yep.
And then there's something that looks like crushed red pepper. It's called cascara sagrada.
Well,
you're just eating a bunch of peppers and having a screaming shit, right?
Oh my God.
All right, I got the question. Question and answers. They're so stupid. Like the first one on the questions for this product, it says, "Is it works for women?" It works for women? No, it's a product that can only work on male anatomy.
Yeah.
Male guts and asses. God. All right. Top reviews in the United States. Buy it. This stuff cleans the pipes. These are the titles of them. Day 2 is when the freedom begins. Honest review. I don't know what to look for here because it's
the you'll find Jesus one, or you'll find.
You will find religion.
There you go.
I took the first serving in the evening, not expecting much.
This is a girl.
14 hours later.
This is a woman reviewing this, by the way, Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle DeLeo. About 14 hours later, the first wave hit like the first troop invasion on Normandy. You will find religion. You will pray and ask forgiveness to unseen beings. You will repent for your sins you haven't even committed yet. I'm happy I invested in a bolt-on bidet for my toilet back when the great toilet paper shortage struck back in 20. True, my water bill may quadruple, but I will save countless trees and forests for the toilet paper consumption I can forgo. I have only started this journey, but I'm afraid to leave the house, and I'm afraid to fart as I may unleash a yet unseen evil upon this world. This product does what it says, and that's the scary part.
There's another one.
That was a pretty good read, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. There's another one in there that says basically don't take before a first date.
Yes, it's Omar Macklemore says, this is like Judgment Day for your insides. First 2 days, nothing happened. Then day 3 was nonstop drone strikes. Don't take this if you have any social engagements during the time frame in which you'd be taking the pills. Just don't. Otherwise, take it.
Oh, well, my experience.
I like the other. I don't want to stay on it too long, but this Kevin S. says, find something else. And his reasoning is, I wanted this to work. Some say it does, and some say it doesn't. The only thing this did was give me thunderous farts. And yes, I drank lots of water, 64 ounces. Would not recommend. Thunderous farts.
So
we should get to the point, because the point isn't just people talking about it humorously. The point is you took it, right?
Yes. I've been on it for a week and I stopped.
You're supposed to be on it for a week? I thought this was a cleanse, like you just do it and wait.
It's supposed to be 15 days. You're supposed to take the whole
you got to
bottle.
do it every day?
Yes. Yeah, I did it 7 days straight, and man, sitting down hurts.
Like your actual gluteus maximus muscles, your butt muscles are sore.
Butt chafing. The first day I took it, I'm like, I read the reviews and I thought, oh, well, nothing's going to happen the first day. No, that morning, boom, I'm like, holy, what the hell is all that black shit? And it was dark. Like,
There we go. I apologize to the listeners.
Like I'm bleeding inside. Like what? The only thing that makes that is like beets and blood.
A full beet came out.
Oh God, it was bad. So the first day was, I want to say 4 times.
Yeah, 4 visits. Yeah.
Yep. The second day, I went like 2 or 3 times, and then I said, you know what? I think I'm safe to go out. And I went to the grocery store. Halfway through my grocery shopping, I had to use the restroom at the grocery store.
Oh, boy. No one wants that.
Nope. And then I went out later to the bar, which is only like 4 miles away from my house.
Yeah.
Thinking I would be safe.
Yeah.
Walked right in the bar, right to the restroom. They are right. Do not make plans. So what made me finally want to stop after the 7 days, I'll continue it again after my Austin trip, but I have to make sure that I'm near accessible potty. I don't want to be on an airplane and have it happen,
Because it goes on for that long.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah. Oh,
like
it's
every day is
every day is like
4
4 times a day, and some of them just come on like, oh, I better get, and it gives you a little bit of warning, but if you don't heed the warning right away,
if you don't heed the warning,
you will be Boskin Hosu and have shitty britches.
Oh boy! So should we, as your listening audience, wonder why you wanted to do this?
I just from being on the road and eating all this food and stuff, I did lose weight. I lost like 4 pounds while I was on it.
4 pounds
in a
poop.
week. In a week, yes. And my gut went down a little bit. So a lot of it's probably water weight, and a lot of it was coming out like water. But like, wow.
So you thought that it wasn't like you had any real pressing issues. You just thought maybe this will be beneficial for me.
Right, I'll try it.
I clean out.
I saw
curiosity.
Yeah, I saw a pop-up ad for it. And I'm like, looked into it, and I'm like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. You will have a burning ass. Your ass will burn.
Well, cayenne pepper.
Cayenne, yep.
Yeah, no way around that. Hey, speaking of chicken nuggets, do you know what? I messed that up. I should have just said nuggets. Speaking of nuggets, Davin. I watched,
Zupu.
Do you remember what I know you watched the food thing, the Food That Made America, or whatever it's called?
Yep.
From History Channel. Do you remember what the nugget shapes are? McDonald's chicken nuggets have 4 shapes. Do you remember what they were?
Oh, no, I don't. That's a good trivia question, though.
Yeah, I thought I might be in Trivia Pursuit, maybe. Think of it as the 4 B's. There's a bell, a boot, a ball, and a bow tie.
Oh. That's how
And I never knew what they were. Like, I knew they were made in shapes by looking at them for 40 years or whatever. Because you could tell. For a little while when you're a kid, you're convinced that they're actually just random. You don't realize it for a while when you're dumb and young. But then you start, wait a minute, there's a round one. There's another thing. But I didn't know those were the shapes.
Okay.
A bell. The boot seems obvious, but it still didn't. I didn't look at that when I was eating them and think, that's a boot. That's dumb. I should follow that up with something that's actually helps people instead of just talking about chicken nugget shapes.
Well, actually, that show is very interesting, the Food That Built America, the history behind some of the biggest food empires in America. It's like, I did not realize the connections between all of these rich entrepreneurs.
Yeah. The interactions, you mean, between some of those guys? Too?
Well, like the Kellogg's brothers and the Post brother that worked for them. And
that wasn't the only one, too, because like Hershey and Mars, that was a former employee, I think, who did M&M, that did Mars M&M, right?
No, he was actually buying his chocolate from Hershey. Is the milk chocolate.
He just became a competitor?
Yeah, and
I think you're right. Yeah, because he struck a deal to buy all the chocolate, and then they got cut out of the deal, and they had to find their own.
Right. Yeah. Because he got way too big. They weren't concerned with him when he started. It was the guy that was
farmer
Minneapolis.
The farmer Reese, who made Reese's peanut butter cups, worked for Hershey. He was the cow guy.
Oh, okay, that guy. No, the Mars guy started out in Minneapolis somewhere, or Minnesota.
Yeah, we go on forever with this. You should just watch it, everybody.
Yep.
It's a great show. Way more. Oh, although somebody got mad. I forgot which episode it was, and of course, when you watch anything, then all of a sudden articles will pop up, like on Facebook. And it was an article about someone was mad because they said they screwed it up. This never happened. So it was was it the McDonald's? No, it was the pizza thing for who wanted to buy Domino's pizza or whatever.
Okay, I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
I didn't see that one yet, no.
Because it's Pizza Hut and Domino's, and at one point they're showing one or the other. I think it was Pizza Hut trying to buy the Domino's pizza, and they're saying no. But then I see an article that says that never happened. From the guy himself saying that never happened. It was years later that they came up with an offer, but it wasn't at that point, and it didn't happen that way at all. They didn't meet in person. It was right. So he was pissed off at History Channel. He did it wrong. But let me scratch that off.
Okay.
And I want to be informative for our listening audience.
Okay.
So that they can come away with something that they can actually use in real life. This is what we used to call. What do we used to call those things? Where we give somebody instructions on how to do something.
Things that something or other.
Oh, things that make things better.
Yes.
Yeah. Drum roll, please. Things that make things better. This isn't actually a thing that makes things better, but I think you'll like this one. I read a Reddit thing. People were talking about like the most underhanded thing that they did, kind of like thievery and stuff like that. There was a thread going on, and the one that I thought was hilarious was this guy says that he went to a rental car agency and he bought the same exact he rented the same exact make and model of his car, took it home, swapped the tires, and then took it back so he didn't have to buy new tires.
Oh, that's a good scam.
I think that's a great scam because those people aren't looking at the tires.
That's true.
When you return it. If it's the same thing, so then he just re-upped on a new set of stock tires for the cost of a rental. I think he said it was like $60 for the day or something.
Take it home, jack it up, steal the tires. Oh, wow.
There you go, people. I'm not encouraging anyone to steal.
No.
But I think you just like to know about it being out there, that option.
Well, it's swapping. It's a trade. It's a trade with yourself. You're making an agreement with yourself.
Yes, that's true.
When I got back from Atlanta, Jerry.
Yes.
Go up to my bedroom. I've got my 50-pound suitcase. I go to toss it on the bed, and all I hear is a...
Oh, no.
Yep.
Did you kill a cat?
My daughter's cat, Dexter, named after the serial killer show, was laying under the comforter, and I didn't know the cat was under there.
Oh, boy. So is the cat alive?
The cat is alive. The cat hates me, and always has, and I'm convinced the cat wants to kill me.
Well, now it does.
Well, so the next day, I go up to go to bed, and the cat shit on my bed.
Yeah, just to get back at you.
Yep, on top of the comforter. He was under the comforter when I tossed the suitcase on, so I know it was vengeful. It was you're going to hurt me, I'm going to fucking hurt you.
That's crazy.
So
you can't just make friends with that cat because it's too late, because cats are like that, right?
Oh, they're evil. They hate
as soon as it's decided it doesn't like you, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You give it all the treats in the world, and it would still look at you. As soon as you left the room, it'd be planning your death, like you said.
Yeah, yep. I should torment that cat, but
you should torment it.
It's just he hates me, I should hate him back. But it's
well, that was sad.
I know that. No. I felt bad. I like. Damn.
Well, of course, you have a 50-pound suitcase on top of a cat.
Yeah. Luckily, the comfort cushioned it. And
Yeah, I don't know how this happened. I flew out to Arizona last time, and when I flew back, somehow, with less items in my suitcase, they said it was too heavy. They didn't charge me. They'd put the heavy thing on it.
Right.
Like, the guy's a little bit overweight. I'm thinking, how? I have less in there.
Right.
You know? Is your scale off, Mr. Phoenix?
Were you wearing the same clothes you wore on your trip out?
Yeah, because I was going back to the cold.
Right.
So I did that.
So it's not like you put a liner to your winter coat.
Right. When I went out there, I had a big bag of protein meal replacement powder that I do for breakfast, and that was not in it, and a couple other things, the perishables that I took out there. But you might be right. I think I might have put like my hoodie, where when I came out, I had a hoodie and a light jacket.
You might have put one of those in there.
I put the hoodie in there and wore the jacket for the pockets. But one hoodie is not heavier than that 2-pound bag of protein powder, because I took enough for a month.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before, where it weighs more at different airports. It's just their scales.
It almost sounded like you said scams. Which
Scales.
would be probably more.
Yeah, scale, whatever.
Yeah, it would be probably more accurate to say scams, just to charge somebody $25 extra because they got their foot on the thing.
Oh, I know I told you about this when I got back. The elevator sound effects lady. Have you ever run into anyone that makes sound effects on an elevator?
No, but you just made me laugh and cough. Because I think you told me this one, some weird lady on the elevator making noises the whole time.
Yeah, I'm taking the elevator down to the shuttle bus that takes you to your parked car, and I get on the elevator, and she goes, bing! I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is that the elevator? And no, she's got her mask on, because she's in the airport, and she's making fucking sound effects.
Bing! Did she make music, like elevator music?
No, the door opened, and she went whoosh, like it was Star Trek. I'm like, bing, whoosh! I'm like, oh my God.
But she could have a situation, Davin.
Tourette's?
And what you don't want to do right now is go from earlier in the show misogyny to making fun of someone who's possibly disabled.
Yeah, but then can you imagine sitting next to that person on the plane? Especially if they're whacker, they'd be making sound effects to it.
Oh man, I didn't know that we were going to get to that. Like you're going to be able to bring back the earlier airplane masturbation story and mix it in there with sound effects talk.
Circled it all around. Yep.
That's a nice little bow you wrapped it up in. I got 2 more real quick ones.
Okay.
Speaking of things that make things better, which are tips, I didn't know this. I hope it's true, because I saw sort of one of those mental floss or one of those places online that were saying, "Oh, fun fact," and it was Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe,
yes,
the actor. They said in 2007, and they had all these pictures. In 2007, just to fuck with the paparazzi, he wore the same outfit every time he went out, so that every picture would look like it was taken on the same day.
Nice.
And he did it for like a year, they said.
That's awesome.
Put on the same hat, the same jacket, the same pants, just whenever he was going out. I think that is awesome. That's a good tip for the celebrities that are listening out there. Because there's mess with the paparazzi. They can't keep selling pictures with the same outfit.
That works. That's a good tip. I like that.
And then my last one, I just want to get it off the plate because I know we'll have a little break here and I'll get way more new topics. But do you watch those shows like American Pickers?
Yes.
Swap Shop, and those ones where people are bartering to buy people's garbage, really?
Uh-huh.
You know? I hope the audience knows. I'm sure everybody's seen that, where they go out and they look through a barn and say, hey, how much do you want for this thing? So I noticed that it happens all the time on both those shows I was watching, American Pickers and Swap Shop on Netflix. And I'm watching them, and a bunch of times someone who wanted to buy the item would say something like, I've been looking for that for 25 years, to the person selling it.
Right.
Why?
No, don't.
If you're going to barter and try and buy something that you really want, why would you tell them how much you really want it? You know?
Well,
That's why I think some of that shit's made up.
Well, a lot of times what they'll do to get the price that they want, that they know they can resell it at, they'll bundle it with something else. And
that's true.
That throws them off their game a little bit, and they can actually get it for what they wanted and discard the piece that they didn't, or still make a little bit of money off of it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the common thing. If you watch those shows, that's what they try and do all the time. That was the Frank before he got fired.
Yep.
He was always the guy who wanted to be the bundler.
Yep.
But they all do it on those shows. But what I'm saying is, like, you don't go to the seller
and tell them how much you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see a motorcycle frame. And I've seen this before, too, where there's like a motorcycle frame in there. Do you know what you got? You know what you have here? You know how rare this is?
Yeah.
Like, don't tell them how rare it is. Tell them it's a piece of junk and you want to give them $5 for it.
Right. Make them an offer.
So I think, makes me think that those people aren't that stupid. They wouldn't usually be doing that. But that's for the cameras to try and get you excited as a viewer about whatever the item is, because it could look like junk. Then they have to explain what it is. But they shouldn't be saying it with the guy.
Right.
So all your producers out there on those shows, make sure when you do those scenes where they're happy about finding something, to do it like it was real, because I know it's not, and have them not be right next to the seller. Have them be whispering to each other off to the side or something.
Make it a scam.
Believe you.
Make it a deal.
So I think I got to leave the rest of these.
Yeah, I've got a couple that I could use for next time, because I had a lot of ones regarding poop and pee and stuff like that.
Okay. That's funny. Look, I'm cutting and pasting them, people. I'm cutting my topics and pasting them in a group so I can move them to the bottom of the list.
Yep.
Like a good citizen. You got anything short?
Just
I don't know.
Sports where you rent shoes. No thanks.
Oh, like bowling?
That was bowling night in Cleveland. I'm like, why are there still sports where you wear other people's shoes?
They do it for skiing too.
Yeah,
right?
Where you rent shoes
rent skis. You could probably rent golf shoes.
Oh, it's just gross.
It is gross, but we did talk about that idea back in the pandemic early part, remember? We were talking about, like, why would bowling alleys have to close? They're the ones who are supposed to be really good at disinfecting stuff. They've been doing the shoes forever.
Exactly.
Supposed to be disinfecting everything, and then now they just have to add the balls to it.
Yeah, so they're cleaning their balls more often.
Back to that, are we?
Yep.
On the plane, cleaning the balls,
yep.
Making sounds. I'm going to have to listen to this one to come up with a good title, but I have a feeling it's going to be something that won't get me a job in the future.
Yep, you got to be concerned about that if you're looking for a job, Jerry.
Yes, which I still am.
They might not want to know you do a podcast. Oh,
right. Davin and I talked about it, where if someone goes to some prospective employer goes to my Facebook page, and then they go through the list of shows because they see it listed on there, and they scroll down. Oh, what is this? Ned Beatty, not just for raping anymore? We can't hire this guy. What the hell is he talking about? They'd have to listen to the show. If anybody's creeping on us and get this far into a show for employment purposes, then just listen to them, because they're not that bad. We're just talking about stuff. Just because it's got an explosive title.
You do title them well, though. I like that.
That's what I should title this one. In honor of you and your zoo poo, I should title it. Just write down explosive title.
Oh, the NSA will be all over that one.
The NSA is going to want to listen to your zoo poo story.
Zoo poo review.
I'll figure something.
You got a hashtag zoo poo, though.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Future sponsor.
This should probably post on Wednesday, if you're listening, everybody. Should be on Wednesday the 13th.
of
April. There. Cat's out of the bag underneath the suitcase.
Awesome. Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. I know we're probably we're a little over
from
what we usually do, but it's been a while. And then we'll be back as soon as we can. So do the sharing and the talking about it and making people listen stuff.
Pop wheelie, guys.